And we're back. First of all, thank you all for all the love and support. My channel went from countless hate comments, dislikes, and hate emails to 57 subscribers and 83,000 views on my first video. And for that, I am deeply humbled and very grateful. I have been inspired to make another video. And you know what they say, you gotta give the people what they want. So, 6 months after I made my first video on Pirate Software, everyone else is caught up. Now it's cool to dislike and even hate him. But back then, you would get so much hatred and unhinged comments for even saying anything bad about him. Now, if you were kind to me back then when I was drowning in hate, then you are an MVP. You are an original. You were cool before it was cool to hate on pirate software. You are special because you are not sheep like 60% of the population. They just follow. They don't know anything and they can't think for themselves. They attack the messenger and turn around pretending they were on your side all along now that it's cool to pile on the pirate software hate train. But don't get it twisted. It was us, here all along, the non-NPC, non-bots who stood against the waves of his deranged fans. It all started from this. And it wasn't because he didn't apologize. A lot of people say that if he only apologized right after, it would have all gone away, but what he really should have done was cast that damn Frost Nova or the Polymorph at that moment, that singular moment in time, you know? Or he could have at least pretended to care about the other people there. And of course there was the blatant I'm out of mana crap. I mean, you are streaming live, you're being recorded, you're recording it yourself. Like, the audacity and the sheer arrogance of it all. Anyways, I'm not even sure if he was capable at all of giving a good enough apology. His diplomacy or performance skills are too low. That and all the fuel for the fire was already there, and the internet was going to have their pound of flesh. I mean, they always do. All of the alleged fraud, the cheating, the blatant fakery was already in place at the feet of his pyre. You see, it's all about perception and your reputation. And this is the first very important life lesson to learn from all of this. First, perception and then reputation. Do you remember this scene from Megamind? That scene is a whole life lesson right there, and a very important one at that. This should be taught to every kid growing up out there. How you look, how you speak, how you act, and how you treat everyone around you will steer the direction of your life to either success or disaster. And this direction will have long-lasting consequences, possibly for your entire life. The only exception is if you get FU money, like Conor McGregor or Elon Musk. How many lies has Elon been caught with, by the way? And to this day, he still has thousands of fans defending him. I mean, do you all remember solar tiles? Anyways, unless you have that Conor McGregor money, you shouldn't be stealing, committing fraud, or punching old men in bars who don't like your whiskey. In other words, your reputation is your life. Right now, everyone can now safely hate on pirate software. This with little to no friction against them. No resistance, unlike what we, the original noticers, had to go through. Why? Because they would be defending someone accused of being a furry, a groomer, a fraud, and someone untrustworthy. And because of that, he now has accusations from all over the place, from all over different individuals. No longer afraid to come out, no longer afraid of his crazy fans. And that's the thing. Remember when he claimed he was swatted and nobody believed him? Everybody assumed that if he did get a visit, they probably just talked to him or nothing happened at all. Nobody really believed him. Plus, a lot of us remembered him bragging about never being swatted in the future because he already contacted his local police department and he made precautions against it. And that's the end of his career. The end for him and possibly the end for you in the future if you don't learn from this new lolcow. And that's what Pirate Software is now. Not only is it cool to hate on him now several months after the real ones called him out and saw through his lies, he has now become a lolcow, a target dummy for everyone to laugh at and dump their frustrations on. From here on out, it doesn't matter if he's innocent or if he's telling the truth. The damage to his reputation has been so severe that there will never be any coming back after this. No crawling back. Even if he can survive, he will only slowly dwindle down to obscurity until he loses all support. And what is he gonna do anyways? He can't get a job at a McDonald's or Wendy's. They're not even hiring these days, and if he could get a job somewhere, people would go there to harass him. A Korean celebrity, a movie star, tried that after a drunk driving incident and she would just get fired immediately as soon as someone recognized her and posted it online. Same thing happened to EDP, the cupcake guy. He would get fired from Lyft or banned off TikTok as soon as he was recognized. And it all comes down to your reputation. So what could have he done in that situation? What should you do if you were ever in the same kind of situation? First, cast that damn spell or don't be a rat. Being a rat or roaching out is a choice. Do the right thing even if you are the only one present or even if it kills your hardcore, terribly important character to the guild that you got kicked right off anyways. First, chances are you are probably not alone in this digital age, and secondly, even if no one else sees it or remembers it, know that you will remember it and be reminded of it at the most inconvenient of times, and you will be carrying that 60-pound boulder for the rest of your life. Or was it 80 pounds? For anyone who knows and remembers that freaking ridiculous mundane math boulder lie, let me know in the comment section. All those videos and streams are probably gone by now. That happens a lot on YouTube. That is another great example, the mundane mass flagging situation, then lying about it, saying he was hunting for boulders. When your reputation is gone, you're done. Also, choosing not to be a rat will be of great help to you in a prison, jail, or escape from Butcher Bay situation. There was a time when my video feed was all about former inmates and their stabby stories and what happened to the rats and snitches in there. Yeah, be honorable as much as possible and be discreet, which leads us to the second very important life lesson we can all learn from the rat mage. Be humble or be humbled. Check your ego or it will be checked for you. This is the Roach King's biggest flaw and the source of his endless downfall. You could say if he hadn't been bragging beforehand on what an amazing mage he was, he worked at Blizzard for 7 years, he probably wouldn't have been made fun of so much after the whole incident. I mean, talk about digging your own grave. And yes, given his failure to cast that damn Frost Nova or Polymorph or put up his poker face over his psychopathic demeanor, he should have apologized or tried to as soon as possible, for all the good it would have done. You still have to own up to your mistakes instead of continuing on, arrogantly believing that everyone will move on in a week or two, on to the next online drama. Legend has it, he's still waiting for it to blow over to this day. On a side note though, could you imagine Pirate Software fake crying as he ran away to leave them to their slaughter? crying he's too important and that the guild needs his epic skills as he turned his back on them. Being humble is a sign of maturity. It's a signal that you are someone that can be trusted. This goes back to perception and your reputation. Speaking of perception and reputation, the third and final lesson you should learn from Pirate Software is don't be a furry, or what I call the downward spiral and the death of your character in everyone's eyes. As soon as they know that you're a furry, they will instantly lose all respect for you and see you as some kind of weirdo. You see, not all information is helpful information. There are things out there that blur your perception and warp your mind. Ideas so toxic and insidious that it corrodes your spirit and rots your soul. Cognito hazards, information hazard. It's why people addicted to certain adult materials tend to spiral downwards into more and more grotesque depravity. First and foremost, do not look up anything to do with furries. In fact, don't look up anything to do them with anything grotesque. That is the first and most important action you can do. Treat it like any addiction or gambling. Avoid initial exposure in the first place. Most addicts regret ever taking that first shot or that first win in gambling. If you have been exposed to certain furry idea hazards through games or cartoons or forums about certain little ponies, stop at once. Do not engage any further. I will teach you what years of New Age BS and meditation have taught me. Where your attention goes, energy follows. The more you think about something, the more you feed it like a tulpa or a thought form. In other words, stop thinking about it. Don't dig any further. Curiosity made countless people into all sorts of freak shows. Do you think that lady just woke up one day and decided to get tattoos on her eyeballs? It all started from somewhere. It's a choice every day, and the grass is not greener on the other side. It's full of urine-soaked fursuits and grooming allegations. And that's how you stop being a furry. Don't look it up, or if you are infected, stop thinking about it and it will go away. You can recover. Just like people addicted to adult media or gambling, they can stop and they can recover. Where your attention goes, energy follows. You can choose to be better than the Roach King Rat Mage himself. In fact, you should be better now after watching this whole video. And with that, thank you for watching, and if you made it all the way through to the end, please know that I appreciate you. Here, you are an MVP. I hope to see you again on the next one. Goodbye for now, my friend.